We all know that Sanji is stronger than Rayleigh, but which one of them is more loyal to their captain? Off the bat, the difficulty with this question is that we have way more screen time of Sanji with the Straw Hats and with Luffy than we have for Rayleigh and Roger. However, based on everything we've seen between Rayleigh and Roger, it's very clear that they cared about each other and they were very close. And I don't think it's too out of pocket to say that Rayleigh would have done anything for Roger as long as it meant that it would keep him safe or alive. Rayleigh and Sanji are very close in terms of how loyal they are to their captain, but I feel like Sanji is just a tiny bit more loyal than Rayleigh is. Not only for the fact that Sanji was willing to sell himself off as a pawn just to keep the Straw Hats safe, but also for the fact that Sanji was willing to attack his captain to keep him safe. I feel like a lot of people tend to purposefully misunderstand what's going on in Luffy versus Sanji, because I think both Luffy and Sanji understand that Sanji does not want to be doing this. So much so that Oda literally spoon feeds it to us with this scene. I can kind of see the argument that Sanji maybe just didn't trust Luffy enough to handle the situation on Whole Cake Island, but at the same time, I feel like it's a reasonable doubt to have. Because one, Sanji wasn't even thinking about whether or not Luffy could manage. Sanji was looking at it from the perspective of he was not worth it for Luffy to even bother trying. And two, just to go back to this scene, the reason Luffy has to remind Sanji that he cannot be Pirate King without him is because Sanji did this so that Luffy could continue his journey and not worry about him. And while you may or may not agree with how Sanji went about doing all of that, I still think that Sanji did this purely out of loyalty and love for Luffy. And while there might be some off-screen stuff that proves Rayleigh is more loyal to Roger than Sanji is to Luffy, based on everything we have to work with, I still think Sanji is more loyal than Rayleigh is. But as always, let me know what you think, and if you got this far, make sure you drop a follow.